Create a script on player. Give it a rigid body. Type public rigid body RB. Then type in public void start RB equals getComponent rigid body. Then create method with left. Type in how the character should move left. Copy and paste and change everything to right moving. Add 2 buttons. On click of the buttons, tell them to do the previous mentioned methods. Thank you. Hey guys, this is a quick tutorial about how to make buttons work within your app or something that you want to do with Unity and C#, I guess. And I researched and I saw that there aren't many, as much as I know, there aren't many videos that like showcase how to make buttons in the UI and those buttons being able to move your character. So I'm gonna make a simple tutorial here, and yeah, let's move on. So the first thing we need is the character itself. Let's just make a cube. Let's give it a location of 0, 0, 0. Set that all. Let's move the camera as a child to the cube. And now whenever the cube moves, the camera moves as well. Now if we test it out, you can see that it moves, but you don't see any difference because there isn't much of a landmark. So let's put another cube there to see an actual difference. So yeah, about here you move this one, as you can see the other cube moves now. All right, let's make like a plane out of this cube. Let's set its positions to 0, 0, 0. You could also do that by right clicking here and then clicking on reset, and then all its position, rotation and scale resets to its original state. And let's make the x-axis about like 10, I'd say, and the z-axis also 10. Move it a bit down, and the cube itself, let's reset it, and that. Next thing is well, right now we're just making some preparations that when we test it, we see how it works. Now we're just going to add a rigid body, so it actually affects the cube itself. Let's press play, and he falls down. Superb. Now let's save that with Control S. You can quick save, which will come very handy if you are still a beginner like me, and I am very sorry if my explanations aren't that accurate, and if I mess up some words. I am still learning, so I'm maybe not even better than you are, but there are some tricks I learned and I hopefully can help you. So next thing is we're gonna create a script. The best way is to click on the cube, add component, and just type in the title of the script, which we could call player script. There we go, player script, create and add. And I am using Visual Studio 2019, I think. We're just gonna wait, double click on the script itself and wait until it opens up. And now we are here in Visual Studio. Now, as you can see, we could like delete everything first, so we have a blank canvas. And now the things we need are a method that we are gonna call, well, I think it's called a method. A method is like the, how'd you say, it's like the area I'm gonna show it better to you. I'm sorry. This is my first day. Now we're gonna write void and left brackets, and that way that's now a method. And now what it should do, what we want it to do is when we press left, that it moves left, right? And now we could make it public. I always like to make things public. Now we're gonna write, but first we need to get the rigid body of the cube itself, so we know what we affect with our script. And we do that by writing public rigid body RB. And if you want to, we could make it like that we write public void and start. And now here, to make it easier, this is one way to do it, and I would be without it and just manually add the rigid body to the script. But we can also do it that way, and you should always do it that way, because I have heard that this is the safer bet. And now we're going to type in RB equals get component. And now here we're going to write a rigid body, which is this one up here. And now brackets, and it, and quick save. And now when the script starts, it automatically gets the rigid body itself. So, and now to make the player actually move, we need to write RB, which is the rigid body, because we want to make the rigid body move. And now there are a lot of different ways how you can give the player movement, and I'm gonna choose the add force. And now we have to type in the vectors and the force. And this is basically like X, Y, and Z, and then a force mode. And this is now to the left side, which means it's minus X. Yes. So we need a minus. And now we can give it a force of 5, which is because it's on the X axis. If that makes sense, because we have to look at the game. Yes, this is right. So because you can see up here, it's on the X axis, and now we're gonna do it times time dot delta time, which means it will always be constant. This has now been the X axis. The Y axis we don't need to move because we just don't want to move left and right. Neither do we need the Z axis. And now we're gonna add the force mode dot, and now you can see here 4 different types of force modes. The first one is acceleration. Add a continuous acceleration to the rigid body. Ignore it, it's mass. So it means it just moves forward. I think you can read as well, which I'm going to choose is the velocity change. Add an instant velocity change to the rigid body. Ignore it, it's mass. So it means we go from 0 to 100 in an instant. And that's how we move it. And now we can simply copy this one, this whole paragraph, add up here right, and now we're gonna change the minus to a normal. We can actually change this to right in capital letters, and we're gonna quick save it with Control S. And now basically we have a way to move the character itself. And now what we need to tell it to move are the buttons. Now we're gonna right click here and then go to UI and then just simply choose button. And as you can see, now the canvas has been automatically been created, and down here is the button. And the next thing we're going to do is click on 2D here, so we have a 2D view, and then click on canvas, and now press F, so we have the whole screen in the view. And now we can simply like position the button however you want it. And up here you can now also choose and drag the button, how big you want it to be or how small, whichever is your preference. And with Control D, I'm going to duplicate the button, and I'm simply just going to drag it over. So for example, if this is like a mobile screen, this is the left button, this is the right button. And if you wanna, you can write something on there, which I'm not gonna do, neither on this side. And make sure to always rename your game objects so it's much easier for you to see what they do. And yeah. And if you wanna make like invisible buttons, it's pretty easy. You simply go to the right side here to the color, and then you change the alpha. So if you want the buttons just to be lightly seen, you can press up the alpha up here. If you want them to be seen completely, just let it be. But yeah, but for this demonstration I'm just gonna let them be like this. And for symmetry reasons, I am first resetting both of them. Now I'm going down, let's say minus 60, then on this side minus 170, and now I can simply right click, copy component, press on this one, right click and paste component values. And now because it's on the same side, I simply have to remove the minus, and it's now symmetrical. I am sure there is a much easier way of doing this, but this is the only way I know right now. Excuse me, I am a rookie right now, still. Now, to actually make the player move, we need to tell the buttons if pressed, so on click, as you can see here. I'm going to give it now a function, and now we simply drag in the cube inside here and choose the function. Now we go down here to the player script, and now you can simply see there are now those two methods, the left and the right one. Because we have chosen the right button, we take the right one, and we can do the same on the left button. Add the cube, go down to player script, left button, and if I am not mistaken, everything should work out fine. So we're going to drop in, we're going to press on the left, right, nothing happens. Okay, I have found out why we didn't see any results. There were results, but they were invisible to the human eye because I'm such a good of a programmer. The problem was, you'll see that it's gonna work. We just simply have to deactivate gravity. Use gravity, we're going to deactivate on the player cube, and we're just gonna simply click on play, and now he moves, as you can see up here. And the more you click, the faster he goes, as you can see. And now we can make him stop, become slower and faster again to this side. This is not really something you want in your game, except if you have such a mechanic. I'm not gonna judge you. So yeah, I think we're done here. Yeah, bye.